Hey, what is going on guys? My name is IndianGamerTag and I am back for your daily Fortnite video. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys tips that you can use in Fortnite Battle Royale. They're all pretty simple and they should overall help you improve your performance in the game itself and allow you to become a better player. Most of these I guarantee probably barely any of you guys know or use. By all means, you might come across one you've seen or used yourself, but majority of the tips in this video are pretty unknown. Now, if you guys go to enjoy the video, a like would be very much appreciated. On the contrary, if you genuinely dislike today's video, then feel free to leave a dislike. Also, if you're new around here and would like to see more daily Fortnite content like this in the future, then feel free to subscribe as well as turning on those post notifications. With that out of the way, let's hop right into this. So these tips are going to be of no specific topic or order. There's kind of scattered tips that I figured would help you guys overall in the game. I'm firstly going to show the trick itself or the tip, and then I'm going to explain how you guys can do it for yourself. So the first few tips I'm going to be sharing with you guys, or a lot of the tips in today's video, is actually going to be talking about countering turtling against opponents in Fortnite. This is typically when a player will box themselves in and they kind of use this as a defense mechanism. This is usually used when someone is low on health or they're overall just not good at the game. Now, this first trick is actually going to be how you can phase through an opponent's wall. Obviously, once you try to break down an opponent's wall to enter their building, or one by one rather, they'll typically turbo build, meaning you literally have no way of getting into their box with them. So this trick right here, as you guys can see, allows you to actually phase through the wall itself. How you do this is you simply want to place down a platform outside of the box connected to the 1x1 or whatever they have themselves turtled in, and then you simply want to make an edit where only one corner is remaining. You want to stand against the railing of that edit and then proceed to break the wall as you typically would do whilst trying to run forward. After a few tries of doing this, you'll see that you're actually in fact phased through their wall and you now have entered their box with them. There's literally no way they'll be expecting this, so this overall should be a pretty simple elimination for you guys. Once again, place a platform connecting to their 1x1, make an edit where only 1/4 of the platform is remaining, go against the railing and then proceed to run while breaking their wall over and over again, and you'll eventually be phased through it. Now, this next tip or trick is once again going to be a way to, counter turtling. So this is going to be a tip or trick that allows us to break 4 different parts of their 1x1 all at once. Obviously, when people are trying to break into a 1x1 that someone's turtling in, they typically only break down one wall, allowing the opponent to simply turbo build and kind of have defense at all times. Whereas if you were to be able to break 4 parts of the 1x1 all at once, it's very easy to take control of the 1x1 itself and then go in there and obviously get an elimination. So what we want to do, we're going to place a pyramid diagonal to the 1x1 and we're going to edit the nearest block to the 1x1 up. So now you guys can see we've made this sort of like triangular prism kind of shape. We're basically going to go to the top of it, and from now we have access of hitting 4 different points of this. It's going to be 2 walls, obviously one on each side, and then it's going to be the pyramid on top, as well as, if you hit it correctly, the floor underneath of the pyramid. Or I guess you can consider this to be like the roof. Now from here you can easily confuse them by hitting like a wall, and then after doing that, hitting the floor beneath the pyramid. They will definitely by no means see this coming due to the fact that they have a pyramid placed above their floor, so they won't expect you to be able to hit it. So once you do hit it, you can replace it with your own, then break the pyramid, and then go in, as you guys can see. This method is amazing and works literally almost all the time, as players by no means are anticipating it. So once again, we're going to make a pyramid edit that's going to allow us to have the upper hand on their 1x1. We're going to deal damage to both the walls, then the pyramid, and then the floor. Then we're going to use whatever method we can to kind of trick them out or fake them out. I like doing one of the walls, and then once they fix it, I like breaking the floor above it and then taking control of it. Then I break the pyramid and take control of that and make a double edit into their 1x1. Now this next tip or trick is going to require a little bit more materials. However, it's very effective. And this is more so if you're playing against not necessarily a terrible player, but like maybe an intermediate player, where if you're breaking their 1x1, they can easily box off into a different section. And this is what like a little bit above average players will do. If you're breaking their 1x1 that they're turtling in, they'll branch off into another 1x1. So this is basically how we can defend against that. We're going to set this up by placing a platform and then a pyramid on all 4 sides of their 1x1 that they're boxed in. And you guys will see why. So when I go to break the opponent's 1x1, they decide to, instead of turbo building, to branch off into another section. Now the perfect part about this is no matter what area they go, left, right, back, forward, we already have control of the roof and the pyramid. So all we need to do is simply go up to the top of it and we can make a double edit play into their 1x1. Again, no matter what direction they go in, we're able to actually take control of it. So if you're playing against a player that when he starts to break their building, they branch off typically, this is how we can kind of counter that and always have a defense against it. I really love this method and there's pretty much no way of defending against it. Now the next trick of today's video is going to be a tip that's going to allow us to actually place a staircase inside of an opponent's 1x1 without breaking their wall at all. We can simply place it through the wall itself. And I'll explain why this is very important or how it could help us quite a lot in a little bit. So first, as you guys can see in the gameplay, it's kind of confusing how I'm able to do that. So all we really want to do is we want to go up to their wall and go against it and look down and towards the left. You then want to crouch and then hold whatever button it is for you to place down your staircase. Continue holding it the entire time, basically turbo building. And then you want to uncrouch by simply pressing the button you'll typically press to jump. If you do it properly, the staircase will actually place through the wall itself. Then if it doesn't work, then just simply crouch and then try it again. So again, crouch, look down to the bottom left, and then hold your staircase keybind, and then uncrouch. If done properly, the staircase will be placed inside of their 1x1, and I use the phasing method that I just shared with you guys to get inside of their 1x1. So now basically they have no form of defense, as I have control of the staircase inside of it, and I phase into their 1x1, and now again have complete control. Now the next tip that I'm showing with you guys is actually connected to what I just shared with you in terms of gameplay. And this is going to be a really cool staircase trick that I've shared in a couple of videos previously and everyone seems to love. However, I've never came across another player who's either used it or was anticipating it when I did this. So if you're ever boxed up with a player, whether you phase through their wall like I did or you just end up having yourself boxed up with them, you can place down a staircase. A lot of times, basically like 95% of the times when you place down a staircase in a box with someone, you're going to be on one side of the staircase and they're going to be on the other side of it. So a really great trick we can use, typically people use a very simple staircase edit where they edit away one side of the staircase, drop down, and try to take a shot at them. The problem with this is it creates a 50-50 opportunity for both players to get an easy elimination, so you're risking your life here. So what I like to do is I make a simple L shape with the staircase. I then go to about the medium part of the L-shaped staircase itself, and then you reset your edit. Once you reset your edit, you will actually fall through the staircase on the other side, and you're now on the side with them. They are not expecting this at all, and I guess this is just because people aren't expecting this physic or mechanic to be in the game itself. So again, make an L-shaped staircase edit, go to the middle of the staircase or right where I'm at, and then reset the edit. From here, you're on the side with them, and if you position yourself properly, you can get a very, very easy one-hit elimination. Now, this next trick is going to be how you can actually be more efficient with ballers in Fortnite. I'm sure a lot of you guys use ballers in the game, whether you're a very passive player or if you play competitively and play such as like Arena, where a lot of players will use a baller and rely on them till the end game. So basically, this is going to help us not only be very elusive if players are shooting at the baller. Obviously, as we know, the health has been decreased since when it was originally out, so it's very easy to break a baller now, and has been for about a month and a half now. So again, this trick is going to help us be very elusive, and there's going to be another variant of this tip that's going to allow us to actually go a lot faster and travel faster. So they're basically kind of like the same method with just a very, very minimal difference. So when using a baller, people will typically just boost and leave it at that. That's how they get around fast. They'll boost and like connect themselves with trees and try to swing like they're Tarzan or something. So an alternative to that is when you're using a baller, is to basically go diagonal with the grappler on it, almost in like a zigzag pattern. So you don't want to go straight with it. Once you're driving, you want to boost, look about 90 degrees towards the right, use your grappler and then swing forward, then look 90 degrees to the left, use your grappler, swing forward, then 90 degrees to the right, swing forward, so on and so forth. If you do this properly, you will literally go, I'd say about 4 to 5 times as fast as what you typically be going. This one mainly is great for elusiveness because we're doing an unbelievably fast zigzag formation in the game, and no matter how great anyone's accuracy is, it's going to be nearly impossible to land consistent shots on you. So this is very, very well if you want to disengage, or if you're just using this and people are taking shots at you and you simply want to be elusive. This can also be used if you're trying to travel fast. And another variant of doing this to travel fast is instead of doing a zigzag formation where we're kind of shooting it in all different directions and all different distances, is to imagine that there's like an invisible line in front of you and try to connect the grappler to that line every time we go back and forth. This is going to basically just allow us to have a more consistent speed where we're not gradually slowing down and then speeding up or whatever. So I try to share with you guys me doing this with platforms kind of stretched along the surface. However, I guess because of the little height difference of the ground and the platform itself, I kind of kept getting airborne, but you guys can understand the general idea and the concept of it. It's try to again imagine there's an invisible line, and every time you go left to right and you shoot your grappler, you try to make it on that line or at least around it. This one isn't really like a huge zigzag formation like the previous one, so it's not going to give us a huge form of elusiveness, but it is going to allow us to speed up quite a bit. Now the next tip is actually if someone's trying to get into your 1x1. So I just shared with you guys a bunch of tips of how to basically get in someone else's 1x1 while they're turtling. This is how to basically counter them doing that. So if they're breaking your wall while you're turtling, and you're obviously turbo building the wall over and over again, a very, very aggressive play that you guys can do is basically wait for them to break it. It's just dart out of nowhere. They will not expect this. You're literally going to be playing with like explosiveness right here. all we want to do is to box them in. So what I typically do is I'll run out, place a staircase to have like a divider between me and the opponent, and then place 3 walls to block them in. Now they'll be boxed in, and we want to place a trap on either side. If you guys don't have traps, we can do the staircase edit that I shared with you guys, how to now get on the same side with them. Again, the L-shaped staircase, and then reset the edit, and you're now on the same side with them. So there's basically endless different ways of what you can do once you have them boxed in. So again, just basically when they're breaking into your 1x1, keep turbo building over and over again, and then out of nowhere dart out, build a staircase to separate you guys as a divider, place 3 to 4 walls to box them in, and then use traps or use the staircase edit that I shared with you guys, and it is a very easy elimination. This is a huge explosive play, and pretty much every time that you do this, it should be easy elimination. Now this next tip is going to be one that's kind of like a phasing tip, kind of not, and this just allows us to fall through the opponent's roof, quite literally fall through their roof and in the box with them. So if they're boxed in and they have a pyramid placed on the roof, what pretty much everyone does for extra protection, literally just go up to the pyramid and then place a wall connecting to it, stand against the wall, and just spray whatever gun you have, or you can use a pickaxe as well, down below. Once you initially break that pyramid and they rebuild it, which they'll inevitably do, we're now actually inside of the pyramid. Half our body's inside of it and half of it is not. So when we continue to shoot, it now instead of shooting the pyramid, actually shoots the platform below the pyramid. So again, place a wall, go against the wall, and literally aim down and just spray. Once they turbo build their pyramid back, we're now through the pyramid, and then just continue to spray, and you'll eventually fall through the platform below the pyramid very, very quickly, in literally a matter of seconds, and you're now in the box with them. They won't be expecting this. They'll already have their blueprints out, and you'll have a weapon out, and literally it's just wraps at this point. A very, very easy elimination for you guys. So that's all the tips of today's video. Stay tuned because I'll have a lot more videos like this in the future. Now, if you guys found today's video helpful or entertaining, a like would be very much appreciated. Once again, on the contrary, if you genuinely dislike today's video, then feel free to leave a dislike as well. And if you're new around here and would like to see more daily Fortnite content like this in the future, then feel free to subscribe as well as turning on those post notifications. Anyways, my name is IngamerTag. Thank you all for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.